Dr. Oz, it is such a pleasure to be here in New York City with you. I just can't even begin to tell you how an amazing experience this is and what an honor it is to be here. And, you know, last year you did a little segment for us for our beach ball. And our beach ball is all about fundraising for water safety and drown prevention. And the audience went crazy. They loved what you did. And so I just want to say thank you. And here we are a year later from now. And we're here in New York City to be with you. So thank you for seeing the importance of this topic.
I've been talking about drowning for quite a while. I remember years ago doing a show at Oprah where I visited a kid who had dry drowned. And I learned about how common a problem is. So thank you for the opportunity to help. I believe in your mission. I'm committed to supporting you to keep kids safe around water. And as a reminder, everybody, young folks don't learn to float sometimes, but when they do, it's not enough. Right? That doesn't mean you can swim. Too often parents teach the kids to swim in backyard pools. That's also not enough because in South Florida, you know, when the kids go out in the open water in a crisis situation, it doesn't matter. Right? Even in their backyard pool can be a crisis, but you put them in, you know, in a challenging environment. You know, put them in places they're not used to being, and it can overwhelm them. That's why the real challenge here is to get kids' swimming skills up to par, which is why I love what the YMCA does, and especially giving lessons to kids in areas of the country where they're not going to be exposed to a backyard pool.
Right, right. Well, and unfortunately, I think you know this statistic that South Florida leads the nation in the number of kids who drown under the age of 4. And so, you know, the Y, I've been in the organization for many years, couldn't think of a better job in the whole wide world. But, you know, we do a really good job not just teaching about swim lessons, but working with parents with education, talking about water safety as a whole, because kids like to go out and they flip over in boats because they have the opportunity to play, because we have so much water in South Florida.
So if I can, I want to share a little bit about how a person drowns, because if you understand it and see it, it might make sense. So I've been touched by a lot of the stories that you've covered and talked about, and Nathan's parents are very brave for sharing with, so other parents can learn from Nathan's experience. So let's take a look at what happens with a near drowning experience. So let's just say you're in the water. Come on over here. Well, I'll teach you a little bit about blocking on a TV show.
Okay.
Most important thing is always see the light. All right, so this is called the BAM, which is the big monitor. You can guess what the A stands for. All right. So in water sports, your lungs, because you naturally will inhale, you can draw water into the lungs. And when that happens, your lungs can't deliver oxygen to your blood, and the rest of your body, therefore, becomes anoxic, suffocated, right? And the brain is the most jealous of all the organs. Within 5 minutes without oxygen, there can be serious, possibly permanent effects to your brain. Now, it turns out that some parts of the brain are more sensitive than others to not having enough oxygen. First area I'll point out is called the hippocampus, this area right here, that lit up in pink and instead of orange color. That hippocampus, it's called that because it's shaped like a seahorse. If you look at it, turn it around, right? It's responsible for learning, for memory, and it especially affects kids with short-term memory, converting into long-term memory. So, of course, if you're hurting that part from a drowning, you won't be able to learn as well. Second, the caudate lobe, we'll localize that. The caudate controls how we move and regulate posture. So your ability to be who you are, to play sports, the like isn't compromised. And finally, back here, the areas in the cerebellum. That's the part that again, very vulnerable to lack of oxygen, but it controls your balance and helps you do things like how to ride a bike, but a lot of other important things too. It's really important because we've seen people survive drownings, but have serious brain damage, and they're left with decreased IQ, seizures, and sometimes they can't move their arms or their legs in a coordinated fashion. So that you've made an amazing job allowing us to save kids' lives, but nevertheless, kids still drown, and it's preventable.
It is preventable, and you know, we have a tendency to talk a lot about, in the news and even in the Y, about kids who drown. But what we don't spend a lot talking about is what's not in the news, which is kids who survive that drowning.
Parents should not take their eyes off kids anyway. They know that, but I get it. I'm a parent and a grandparent. You take your eye for 1 second, the kid's gone, and they think they're playing and it's safe. Right. They don't know what they don't know. Ensure your home is there for us, you know, in a protected environment. So you've got fences or a cover like you're supposed to. Where we have a pool, always have a cover, and we have a place that's on the water. Same thing. Kids can't go outside; they're blocked off without us somehow finding out. Everyone ought to know CPR, right? And it's very simple. 2 steps: call 911, so someone's coming to help you, and then just pressing them on the chest. Forget about the breathing part right now. I am proud of you and your staff for all the work you do at the YMCA, protecting and educating the community. It adds up quickly to saving lives. And I encourage everyone here tonight to give to the wise cause and donate generously. It's the best investment you can make. while you're making that investment, have a fantastic time at the beach ball. I know you guys throw a beautiful party.
Well, thank you. And again, it's an honor to be here. And on behalf of the whole entire organization, thank you. And even from Nathan, thank you, because Nathan's one of those survivors that we're really proud to tell his story. And you just explained it so perfectly. So hopefully our audience will understand it as we go forward, how important that 5 minutes is.
Bless you for what you do.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. It's such an honor.